Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our discussion on Introduction to Economics. Today, we will explore some fundamental concepts that shape the way societies allocate resources. Economics may sound complex, but don't worry, we'll break it down into digestible bites. Let's start with the big question: what is economics? At its core, economics is about how society manages its scarce resources to satisfy unlimited human wants. It's like trying to manage your monthly budget. Do you spend on essentials like books, or do you splurge on those delicious but extremely sweet boba drinks? Economics has two main branches: microeconomics, that focuses on individuals, households, and businesses. Think of it as zooming in on small scale decisions. And macroeconomics, that looks at the bigger picture, things like national income, inflation, and employment. In other words, it's like zooming out to see the whole economy. One of the key challenges in economics is scarcity. We all have unlimited wants, but resources like land, labor, and capital are limited. This forces us to make choices. And with every choice, there's something we give up. That's called opportunity cost. Think of it this way: if you spend your evening watching Netflix, the opportunity cost might not be studying for your exam. Sometimes the hardest choice is deciding between two good things. Let's put this into perspective. Imagine you're a student with three major exams coming up. Your study time is scarce. If you choose to focus on one subject, you're sacrificing time that could have been spent on another. Now that's opportunity cost in action. The real struggle, however, is choosing between Netflix and textbooks, right? Businesses also face these trade offs. During the 2008 financial crisis, Toyota had to make a tough call. Should they continue producing cars at full speed or cut back to avoid losses? They chose to reduce production, saving costs but risking market share. This is real-world example of how scarcity forces tough economic choices. From an Islamic perspective, scarcity isn't just about limited resources. It's also a test of stewardship. Islam teaches that Allah has provided enough for everyone, but misallocation and waste create scarcity. Opportunity cost in Islamic economics isn't just financial, it includes ethical and social impacts. For example, if a business maximizes profits at the cost of harming the environment, that's not an optimal choice in Islamic terms. Now, let's look at the Production Possibility Frontier, or PPF. It shows the maximum output an economy can produce given its resources and technology. The PPF helps us understand scarcity, choices, and opportunity costs. Imagine you're running a pizza shop. If you invest more in making pizza, you might have fewer resources for making pasta. The PPF illustrates these trade offs. Okay, so here's an example. Suppose a country produces only two goods: pizzas and robots. If all resources go to making pizzas, no robots are produced, and vice versa. Any point inside the curve means resources aren't fully used, while points outside are impossible given current resources. The PPF teaches us efficiency. So if you're inside the curve, you're wasting potential. As we move along the PPF, we see the law of increasing opportunity cost. This means that producing more of one good requires giving up increasing amounts of another. And why is that? Because not all resources are equally suited for all tasks. It's like shifting from being an accounting major to an economics major. It's not an easy transition. But can the PPF shift? Absolutely. Economic growth, new technology, and better resource management can push the PPF outward, allowing us to produce more. On the flip side, disasters or resource depletion can shrink the curve. Think of it like upgrading from an old smartphone to the latest model. Suddenly, you can do a lot more. In Malaysia, palm oil and rubber compete for land and labor. If all resources go to palm oil, rubber production drops, and vice versa. As technology improves, Malaysia can produce more of both, shifting the PPF outward. This is a great example of how economic choices affect national output. In an Islamic economic system, efficiency isn't just about maximizing production. It's also about ensuring justice and ethical responsibility. The PPF highlights the need for resource allocation that benefits society as a whole, aligning with Islamic principles of fairness and stewardship. All economies must answer three big questions: what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. The answers depend on the economic system. Market economies rely on supply and demand. Command economies let the government decide, whereas mixed economies blend both approaches. Think of it as deciding between cooking your own meal, which is market, or getting a school lunch, command, or doing a mix of both, mixed. In an Islamic economic system, the foundation is different. It recognizes that wealth ultimately belongs to Allah and humans are mere trustees. Some key features include no interest or riba. Instead, profit sharing is encouraged. Wealth redistribution, where zakat ensures fairness. And ethical production. Businesses must avoid harmful goods and services. What's the goal? Not just economic growth, but falah, success in both this life and the hereafter. So, what have we learned? Economics is all about making choices in a world of scarcity. Whether it's a student juggling study time, a company adjusting production, or a country managing its resources, economics is everywhere. And in an Islamic framework, economics isn't just about profit, it's about ethical, fair, and responsible decision making. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, do email me.